Thank you so much, Chris. Call of Duty fans, we got one more series today and 2 historic teams throughout Call of Duty. Coming to the stage first, decked out in red, looking to snag another trophy for the compound. Get ready, because the heist starts now.
So what's the plan? Same crew, but this time, we take everything.
Drazah, Cammy, and Envoy, give it up for your LA Thieves.
The slow burn that is our back-to-back champions from last year in the LA Thieves. Another slow start this season, but when you look at this roster, you have the Dark Prince in Envoy who can change the flow at any moment. And Blaze, I don't see a king on the other side of that stage.
All right, now it's time to bring out their opponents. You know them, you love them. Here comes OpTic Texas. Give it up for iLLeY, Shotzzy, Dashy, and the final piece of Zio, it's Huke. I give to you OpTic Texas.
The green wall to rule them all. And while the king may be resting, this team looks to make their own legacy here on the main stage. Horsepower in abundance and looking to start off the major in fantastic fashion. We'll see just how OpTic Texas puts this game all the way. Blaze, it is time to get this game going.
I agree with you, Ton. The time is now. Boston, y'all ready? It's time to get this one going. Lando, Study, take it away.
Oh, let's do it, Blaze. I'll tell you what, man, Boston is already getting hyped for the final matchup of the day. OpTic Texas, LA Thieves. Jay, I tell you what, man, the stories are there. Stories are everywhere when it comes down to this matchup.
Oh, man, I'm so excited for this one. Obviously, OpTic Texas, they complete the reverse sweep versus Atlanta FaZe to get the #1 seed.
Yeah.
And on the opposite side,
LA Thieves.
They complete the reverse sweep versus Boston Breach and get that A seed to make it into the winner's bracket. This is a grueler of a series, man, because you don't want to be playing either one of these squads in your very first round. You're going up against the world champions if you're OpTic, and then if you're OpTic, you're literally dominating so far, especially in Search and Destroy. So this series is going to be insane, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one. Obviously, we've talked about it, right? Throughout the qualifiers, OpTic no longer with Scump. Jay, this is the very first matchup on LAN that OpTic has played without Scump in the lineup since the MLG National Championship in 2011. It has been 4,000 days since OpTic has been on a main stage without the king.
I wasn't even a pro at that time, man. Like, that's insane.
Some people weren't even alive, I think, in that time.
Definitely a couple people probably. No, definitely none of us, but I'm super excited, man. Obviously, this king isn't here anymore. Whole new roster for this OpTic Texas team. And ever since they made this roster change, their hardpoint has gotten a lot better when it comes to that pacing. And I think a majority of that comes down to the damage that Dashy has been able to put. #1 in damage in 10 minutes all throughout stage 2. And then also the improvement in hardpoint. Throughout stage 1, he only averaged about 19 kills in hardpoint. Throughout stage 2, he's at 28. So Bruce has been a man on a mission ever since this squad has been formed.
Without a doubt, my friend, it's the final matchup of the day. Boston, get loud as we fly in here for Mercado. OpTic Texas, LA Thieves, the #1 seed, taking on the #8. OpTic Texas will start off with preferred spawns as we jump in to game 1.
And when you take a look at the maps and modes in this series, I'm pretty sure like all the respawns can go either way. The S&Ds for me is what's going to be able to be that turning point. For early start into this game, it's the Thieves. They start off on the bad side. They win a majority of those gunfights, and spawns have already flipped.
Spawns have already flipped, at least for the moment. OpTic looking to lock things down for the time. LA Thieves, as we said, a huge matchup for them coming into this one as well, Jay. As hardpoint, it feels like nothing really seems to be their strong suit right now.
No, yeah, especially when you talk about this new OpTic roster, the only thing that they really do struggle with is their rotations. And that's the same thing on the other side for the Thieves. They are dead last in rotation in hardpoints. But if you are OpTic Texas, I think it's all about the teamwork. For both of these squads, it's going to be all about teamwork, not any individual players.
They're going to need that teamwork coming up. As we said, the hard point to look out for here on the Mercado is going to be those P2s. It's going to be a few different hard points really throughout this bad boy, but majority of the time, it's about Cantina. As we ready up and prepare, it is OpTic early Thieves trying to build up a push. Now making their way through the back alley. iLLeY, first line of defense. He's going to be here. Slowly weakened, but still up.
Yeah, you got to say it loud if you are iLLeY. The only player watching towards back alley, so a lot of pressure coming in from both squads, but OpTic, they're winning the trade battle. Now it's all up to Shotzzy in a 1v2. He gets taken care of, and the break is instantly there from the Thieves. And now this final 35 could potentially be there.
And Jay, this has been the game plan, right, for the Thieves all season long. It's not been about the rotations. They're like number 12 in rotating, #1 in breaking. I know on Mercado, the stats don't necessarily suggest that it works out all that well, but it absolutely does here off the rip as Drazah starting things off at 6-3. He finds himself on the 4 spree. Meanwhile, it's a 2v2 on the top side of the map. We're battling right now for 10, and the Thieves win both of those gun engagements.
Combination of Envoy and Octane. Find both kills. Now they're set up inside 10. You allow the pinch to come in from Kenny. So it would look like to be a great rotation from OpTic. Texas is instantly broken by great teamwork from the Thieves. They find every single kill, and now OpTic are forced to break. Preferred spawns also in favor of the Thieves.
Yeah, great situation now for the Thieves. Drazah and Envoy currently find themselves on 4, and OpTic Texas is struggling just to really make their way past the 50-yard line. Shotzzy wins that, and now things get a little bit easier here for OpTic Texas, but they've still got to jump inside of the point. Shotzzy with the nade over the top. Huke as well. Everybody getting involved, but it's a majority. It's going to be that SMG duo. Granted, a team kill comes forward, but OpTic have broken. LA Thieves knocking on the door as they've got man count right now.
Yeah, and that's a big break right there from OpTic Texas, because on this map, they are 9th in break percentage. And they made that one look easy. Got themselves right back into this game. Even though they lose the final 20 seconds, they win the rotation over towards Barbershop. And this is where you need to set up a good hold. It's going to be the Thieves trying to push out through back blue. Shotzzy finds that first kill. iLLeY with the second. And so far, this has been a flawless rotation. OpTic should be fully set up.
And this is really what you want to see out of this team, Jay, right? I mean, it feels like the one time we saw them on Mercado was versus the Las Vegas Legion in our Major 2 qualifiers with this new squad. They've been a little late to adapt. And right now they've got that set up locked and loaded over at the Barbershop. It can be chaotic from time to time, and that's exactly what Drazah is going to attempt to do. He drops. OpTic still with time in threat of taking the lead.
OpTic still with time, but LA Thieves, they're getting surrounded by all the players from OpTic. Kenny finds 2, can't find the trade onto iLLeY. Huge one-on-one between Dashy, can't win it as LA Thieves able to set up the pinch through middle and through back alley, find another break on towards P4.
It's another one. It's another break. Thieves doing great work, still contesting for those final 20 seconds, a big 20 at that, as the Thieves win that 2v1 battle. And again, it's a war of the rotations. It's a war of making sure that you've got preferred spawns, a current 3v2. Still favoring the boys in green, but as we said, Jay, Thieves, they typically are able to walk away with gunfights that they arguably shouldn't. Down by 30, we'll see how they look to adapt now.
Yeah, these kills are going to be big. It's Dashy and Shotzzy. That's going to be 3 dead in the feed. Last player up is going to be heading towards Dark. He drops, and now you control the first push on the side of OpTic Texas. But do you read these spawns? There's 3 players from LA Thieves who spawn out towards Cantinas. You have 1 player in iLLeY who spawns out towards the middle of the map. They just have to read this player who's going for that late pinch. Octane finds the first, and now the pinch is going to be in.
Yeah, now all the pressure starts to fall in toward Dashy, brought down to 2 HP. He falls. Huke with some solid shots, but he eventually does get dropped. iLLeY gets tossed out a nade. That one sticks to his chest. Nothing granting at all right now for OpTic Texas. And Jay, same story. Another break for Thieves, and the lead still remains theirs.
Oh, and the scary part is now Thieves have the potential to chain 2 hard points together as they're going to be fully set up for top Cantinas. That's one thing that the Thieves haven't been able to do all season long is chain 2 hardpoints on this map. When you do that, you're able to grow the lead the way that they are trying to, as all-out OpTic Texas trying to put pressure through back alley. Drazah and Octane combined for 2. Kenny with the 3rd. Only one player in the position is going to be Dashy. What can he do?
Oh, and Dashy trying to make a play. Kenny nearly with 2. OpTic Texas trying to jump on forward, but Jay, they've got no angle for the Thieves. You've got players in all of these windows, envoys pushing out the cuts. Looking at that mini-map, there is nobody close right now for OpTic as they continue to get pieced apart.
And these are just money hills.
Goodness.
Oh my, Drazah finds himself on a 7 spree, already earns himself that cruise missile. If they hold this remaining time, they're going to put themselves up by 100 points. Every single hard point is so crucial on this map. If you chain 2 together, that's the scoreline that we're currently going to see. The Thieves, flawless hold at that P6, and they're trying to find a couple rotation kills towards P7 as well.
And here comes the cruise missile. Drazah looking to invest this. Does a little bit of damage, at least maybe even just for a bit of information is all it is as we continue to battle 100-point advantage right now for the Thieves. Let's step aside and see how those comms are sounding as Kenny is frying.
Behind me, 10. Yo, gate out. On God Heady. On God Heady. Good job. Should be 10 spawns here. Should be 10 spawns. Should be 10 spawns. I spawn behind. I spawn 10. I have your mid in 2 seconds.
Okay, let me know.
I have your mid. 0 mid. 0 mid.
Back P2.
Gate right now, Sam. Gate.
2P2. 2P2.
And one cross. No, another one. Gate. Go in.
Jump up on me. There's no behind you.
That's all you. We're getting
Oh my god.
I think that's one shot on top on the RV. I saw
RV. I'm chilling.
Yeah, he's behind it. On top of the house. I hate you, Sam. Right here. Dark and yellow bit.
I'll take out over.
They can be dark and yellow bit.
Everyone reset. I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you.
I think they heavy played old, bro.
One shot at old. Oh my god. Back half on Kyler, bro.
I'm coming.
Want me in dark or somewhere?
I'm dark. He's fucking behind us. 3 times.
I'm one shot, bro. I'll chop bricks. That's all you got. Tom, bring us out. Sam. And HyDra. 2 mid cut. 2 mid.
Yellow man pushed out 10. Pushed out street.
I'll give you a check on me, bro.
We can play God Heady up the time here.
I'm still playing mid.
I'll give you a I'm trying to go half wall. I don't see anything half wall.
Yo, internal, nade time.
Top 10.
Yo, he's close right time.
Oh, my word, that sounds like a well-oiled machine, the Thieves. It's not even just Jay, like they're calming out like, hey, this guy's dead, I killed him over here, whatever it may be. It's just like the intuition, the call-outs from everybody telling us when to calm down, where the likelihood of where OpTic Texas could be. It is just picture-perfect work right now out of the Thieves, Jay. It feels like they are very much prepared right now for this matchup.
Yeah, those comms right there from the Thieves show why they are world champions of last year. Small talk on small talk. They're making sure they're keeping track of every single situation that could potentially happen, controlling the spawns, controlling the power positions, but just haven't been able to find anything off of that P1. This is where OpTic can get back into the game. Dashy finds himself on a 3 spree. They win that rotation over towards bottom cantinas, and now only being down 80, this game is far from over.
Yeah, I mean, if they grab all 40 of this, we're at like 190 to 223. That makes it look a whole lot better than it does right now. But Dashy, by losing a few of his teammates, has to hop off the point, and that allows for the LA Thieves to inch ever closer, now to 250. Bit of a crossfire toward the outside of the cantina. Shotzzy has pulled out that tack, and he's putting it to good use. Able to put a few in the dirt, as now it's a 1v1 inside of the point. Bruce is able to take it, and as we said, Jay, that score begins to improve, but it's all about that fight that's toward the top side. LA Thieves just got close spawns.
Oh, LA Thieves, they have every single player on this side of the map, so it's all left up to the SMGs for OpTic Texas. They have to go big. Octane with a huge one-on-one. Unfortunately, Huke cannot find the trade. Now it's all on to iLLeY with the SMG in hand. Finds it first. Almost hits the snap onto Octane, but that's going to be the Thieves winning that rotation gunfight.
I was going to say, you might as well write the hard point off there. Yeah, OpTic back to the comeback if iLLeY hits a shot like that. However, continuing to put OpTic Texas in the rear view mirror as Thieves continue to build upon their advantage. Now less than 5 points away. Octane winning another crucial 1v1 as it's all going to come down to one more break. That's what it's been about for the Thieves so far throughout this Mercado is on breaking, and it will end with it as well. Dominance early from LAT.
That was just perfect teamwork out of the Thieves, man. Like every single time, they always had a response. That's something that they're really good at doing on this map. If they lose a certain hill, they always make up for it at the following. But when you allow a team to chain 2 hills together, the way that they did, it was at that P5 going into the P6, gave them an 100-point lead. And then at P7, it was scrappy towards the back parking lot. But when the Thieves put themselves in such a comfortable position, up by 100 points, all you need is one rotation to one of these money hills, and that's exactly what they did. More bodies off the rotation towards Sin, you win your gunfights, you're able to close out the game. OpTic Texas just simply could not get a good hold.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like, I mean, at times, the way that OpTic Texas have looked in the Major 2 qualifiers at times, when we talk about HP, it just feels like they're a little behind. How often have we talked about, you know, it can be at times they're a little late on rotations. When they are rotating, it feels like teams can just effortlessly break. On a map like Mercado Las Almas, buddy, oftentimes, teams who are so good at breaking don't see a whole lot of success. Yeah. That is the Thieves' game plan. That's something that we were worried about. Thieves made that look easy. They made breaking look easy right there.
And it's on some of the money hills as well, because keep in mind, OpTic Texas, they started off with the first rotation of hard points. They had early control of P2. LA Thieves are sending 4 through back alley. They find the kills, and then they get the break. Some of those hills should be unbreakable when you had the setup around it, but OpTic Texas just couldn't get properly set up, and the Thieves always found that initial gunfight. When you started winning that gunfight, you're already starting off the trade battle. You're already putting yourself in that advantage. And then every time a trade needs to happen, the Thieves are always in a position to find it, win the gunfights, and then eventually find the break. That was just beautiful hardpoint. And obviously for OpTic Texas, with them being still a brand new roster, only played a couple matches together, 4 throughout stage 2. Definitely some things they still need to work on in HP.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think the biggest emphasis moving forward throughout this series, if you're an OpTic fan, is you're a little worried what you've seen on the other side from Thieves. Not just with the breaking, not just because of what we've all talked about, but also because this is a Thieves team, man, that's going to grab onto every single piece of momentum that they can. How many times have we talked about it? Thieves, slow start, just like Vanguard. Is this going to be another year, or are we on the brink of watching this Thieves roster that's been together since the very start of last year begin to fold? And with the placement that they have at Major 1, which isn't what they've liked, the Major 2 qualifiers, which haven't looked amazing either, as we said, man, that Thieves team, as we heard in the comms, they look fantastic, at least in hardpoint. We'll see how the S&D looks.
Yeah, the S&D is going to be kind of scary for me, though, because they're going into a Mercado S&D where they have only had the chance to play it once, but it wasn't with this roster. Capsule was on the team when they played this map versus Toronto Ultra, and they got 6-1. Absolute smoke show. And on the opposite side for OpTic Texas, they're pretty great at this one. Overall record at 3-3. The biggest thing that stands out for me is how great they are on defense. 4th overall, but when you know on a map like this, when you get that bomb down, you're usually going to find a lot of success. They're 2nd in retakes as well, so it's a big match. I thought that this series simply was going to come down to the search and destroys, and if OpTic want to make this one, this is one they need to take.
Oh man, the bully memes are already out there. I'll tell you what, shout out to that guy for somehow managing to get through security with that outfit. Major props. But as we said, man, coming into the search and destroy, you definitely feel better about yourself, right? I mean, hard points, we talked about it, it's been a struggle for OpTic Texas, but the Zeo trio alongside of Dashy, they feel like this is a mode that I think honestly could carry them through a lot of their future series, maybe even in this tournament. S&D's been their backbone, and it's going to have to be right now.
It has to be right now. You cannot fall short in this series, go down 0-2 into a hotel control where you kind of had some success in that series versus Atlanta FaZe by winning 3 attacking rounds. It's never easy, but the search and destroy is bringing your bread and butter. Ever since this roster has been formed, 6-1 in S&D. The only S&D they lost was that 6-0 to Atlanta FaZe on Embassy. We're probably not going to touch that again if you're OpTic Texas, but Mercado Hardpoint is where they need to make this a series.
Yeah, Mercado S&D, we've had the Hardpoint, now we've got the search. I'll tell you what, man, Mercado Las Almas search and destroy. Sometimes it's slow, and sometimes it is unbelievably fast. Make sure to fasten those seatbelts, as it is going to be a crazy one. Thieves looking to go up 2-0, and OpTic looking for the answer. As we said, a lot of pressure on this team's shoulders. The new generation, once more, is going to have to come away with a big, big dub as we kick off round 1, Jay.
And now going into this round 1, you're on the better side if you are LA Thieves, because there's no trophy system to work with on the side of OpTic Texas. So you probably have to slow down your push on being aggressive in towards cantinas, set up a couple team nades as Huke finds 2, already a 4v2.
Jay, that's it, right? Like that double kill, that nade toss very well could quickly change the momentum of a dominant hardpoint that goes the other way. We'll see if Envoy and Drazah can look to come away with a solid 2v4. Right now, Envoy's got a bit of info, a bit of intel. Spots the back of Huke, goes for the challenge, and also stays alive. Drazah, meanwhile, is not able to find what I imagine had to be a squirrely Shotzzy. As he stays alive in Cantina, engagement about to occur. And thankfully for the Thieves, you do have the bomb.
Thankfully you do, but you can't win that gunfight onto Dashy. So now it's Envoy for the 1v3 clutch. Makes it a 1v2. Dead silence is going to get popped. Also, does that have that bomb in hand? He picks up the information onto iLLeY as well.
They don't know.
Might be able to make it a 1v1.
Jay, they had no idea. As he pops dead silence, iLLeY had no clue. He was there for the challenge. Envoy now versus Shotzzy. 20 seconds to go, and both players looking for the reads. Shotzzy thinks he went for the long route. Did he see him?
He had to have saw him.
Shotzzy may have spotted him. Has to go for the quick challenge, but decides to hold off. Envoy, where's he coming from? Here he comes! Oh, and Shotzzy grabs the 1v1. A 1v2 clutch overall as both players, it felt like spotted each other multiple times, but it's the face-to-face battle there at the end. And what was nearly a 2v4 loss.
Yeah, you can't let it get that close right there if you are OpTic Texas, but you do have a Shotzzy. And he's able to win some crucial one-on-ones. He had 2 HP left in this gunfight. Able to clutch up the first defensive round for OpTic Texas. But like you said, man, if you're opening up a round with a 2-piece nade, that one's got to be a lot cleaner.
Yeah, it absolutely does. In a situation like that, Envoy makes the right plays, makes the great route there with that dead silence. But Texas able to stay alive, able to sniff him out. As now we jump into round 2. OpTic's first look at the attack. Oh, iLLeY had that shot perfectly lined up, but it's the bullets on the other end that fly that scope forward. Shotzzy and Drazah able to walk away with kills for the opposing sides, but it's Bruce who's able to even the score. Now a 3v2 for Texas.
Yeah, you see the difference in the round right there. OpTic Texas have a couple trophy systems to work with. So no one is going to get pre-nated. So now in the 3v2, Kenny already puts himself in towards back alley. iLLeY's going to be the guy holding it with the sniper. He gets the information and hits the shot. What a snap onto Kenny. Now it's all left up to Octane in the 1v3.
Oh, and Octane tries to snap, no good. Jay, as a sniper specialist, you know that is a very difficult flick to hit. My word, what a shot that was from iLLeY.
Oh yeah, but as a sniper specialist, you can just tell. When you're filling yourself with that weapon in your hand, nothing is gonna change your mind. You hold down that pre-aim, you wait for the jump around the corner, you line up the shot. iLLeY is the most impactful search and destroy sniper that we have in the game when he is clutching up in rounds. When they are winning S&D rounds, the majority of that is on the back of iLLeY's sniper, 55% whenever he's using this weapon.
Oh, and Octane peeks up for a moment, and instantly iLLeY is there with a bullet waiting for him, had his name written all over it, but here we go. Oh, and Shotzzy puts away 2. He nearly had a triple. Dead to rights as Thieves bruised and battered quickly in this round 3.
So now into 2v3. It's been 2-piece after 2-piece on the side of OpTic Texas in these early rounds. So you don't want to give anything up for free. Just throw your shoulders, play your trades. Play for this retake into 3v2. Bomb is going to get planted over towards B. Tall task ahead for OpTic Texas.
Not an easy one by any means, and Octane, maybe the first player to spot a bit of information toward the back alley. He's got that. Meanwhile, Huke finds himself on the flank. So a lot of things to think about. Octane thankfully has that FaZe in hand. He's got to put it to good usage. Great flank as the pinch will work out from Huke. Envoy last alive 1v3.
1v3, 20 seconds. The bomb is going to be stressed, so he can potentially see it from middle map. He's going to be able to line up a couple shots. Can't find the kill onto iLLeY. 1 HP. If iLLeY doesn't get that kill, that round probably goes completely different.
Yeah.
But just makes the play with the pistol. Now OpTic Texas, 3-0 in this search and destroy, flawless so far.
They nearly lined up, Jay.
That almost got scary, man.
How many times have we said that with OpTic associated with it? They've had a few positives where the opposing side has lined up for them, but you called it perfectly. 1 HP is the difference between what could have been a 1v3 clutch there out of Envoy. But on the other side, it is 3 rounds straight. It's been 5-1 in search destroy for the Zeo trio plus Dashy, as they have been flying through their searches lately, and right now on land they are doing a majority of the same. And you can just feel it, man. It feels like they have a new level of confidence and good reason, as Huke will put 2 in the dirt. Meanwhile, on the opposite side, Thieves have even the numbers. Well,
1v2. All left up to Kenny. Bomb is going to get planted down towards A. Dead Silence is going to get invested. iLLeY is going to get spotted. Trying to lock the shots onto Dashy, but the teamwork out of Bruce and iLLeY. Able to set up the team shots, find that final kill, and save Dashy's life. 4 flawless rounds, and another opening 2-piece from OpTic Texas.
It's fair to say, Jay, Boston has awoken. The OpTic fans have awoken after a flawless 4-0 start here on the Mercado. We'll see if they can make it 5 as the nades are out. However, Trophy not able to save Shotzzy's life. So for the first time, it's not an OpTic opening 2-piece. This time, it's a 2-piece actually for the opposite side for Thieves, as it comes quickly into a 1v3 now for Bruce.
Bruce all left in the 1v3. Gets the information of at least 1 player crossing towards that site. He finds the kill on the Envoy. 1v2. Pops that Dead Silence. He can catch a timing.
Oh, he absolutely can. He's going to spot him off the bomb. He's going to
wait a minute.
Bomb does not get planted. Oh, it's a 1v3. Oh, it's so close. Octane has got to be on a sliver of health. Jay, I swear he won this fight. It's got to be like a bullet that goes through that lantern.
Yeah, Dashy definitely wants to fight with that light pole right there, because that light pole just held him back from clutching an insane 1v3.
This place would have gone nuts if he clutches that.
Definitely made it an opportunity.
But you'll take that.
Are able to get the first round on the board. Wasn't easy.
That's what it takes, right? That's what it takes to search destroy. You're down 4-0. You don't care that you nearly just got 1v3. You're happy the fact that you finally have a round to speak of. And off the start, it is player number 5 in iLLeY. Bomb at his back and the sniper in hand. 3 and 2, but those kills have been impactful.
And I love this play call right now from OpTic. Let's slow the game down. Let's try to catch a couple players from the Thieves, trying to get aggressive, trying to hit a flank through B. Shotzzy's just getting that information that Kenny is going to be sitting in towards 10. The stun is able to connect. So, what does that do to the setup? Forces a couple players from the Thieves to hit that early rotation as iLLeY finds the first blood.
iLLeY cracks the whip. And now OpTic Texas look to run wild. Octane will fall. Drazah does 2. That's a 2-piece from Shotzzy. I thought that was 2 totally different players. And now it is Kenny all by himself. A 1v4. iLLeY pops his head up for a quarter of a second and hits another snipe. This has been downright dominance, as we'll watch this snipe again. And a few extra bullets from Huke, 5-1.
He's just lining them up, man. He's lining them up. iLLeY, with that sniper in hand, is changing the way that this search and destroy is being played. Finds the first blood, finds the final kill. So now OpTic Texas are 1 round away from tying up the series.
If you're Thieves, it's just like, can we just not get 2-pieced off the start? Can we not just allow for iLLeY to line us up quick? Can we get something going, please? That would be great. Thieves down, but technically not out. We've seen crazier comebacks happen previously, but Huke, another first blood for OpTic Texas, 7-4 now for the nuke.
So now in the 3v4, not an easy task for the Thieves players. You have 1 player in Drazah who invests that Dead Silence, already pushes his way up through elbow. Whichever player in watching that position, it's going to be Dashy. He gets the information, the stun is able to connect. As Shotzzy finds another one, 4v2. Drazah gets sniffed out, all up to Kenny to try to keep them alive.
All up to Quavo Ken, 1v3. And a best of luck to Kenny, considering where he's at, considering the amount of time left on the round. As he just prays that somebody from OpTic gets over-aggressive. But it is a perfect reply there out of OpTic Texas, as they answer back on a Mercado themselves. A 6-1 performance. And that, Jay, that is the OpTic Texas that we have seen online now to land, as this new lineup now improves to a 6-1 record in this mode.
They just took over in that search and destroy, man. Early on, you're thinking Thieves start off on the attacking round. We're going to put a lot of pressure towards Cantinas and try to get this bomb down. But when you get two-piece landed right off the rip, then it changes your entire game plan. OpTic Texas, they had the aggression early on, and in the later rounds, they started to slow the game down, pick them apart, read their setups, and then allow a couple players to walk right in front of iLLeY with that sniper rifle. That was just a perfect game plan from OpTic Texas. Obviously, if you are LA Thieves, you only played this map once before, wasn't with your full roster.
I don't know if
you lose it 6-1. Yeah, and now you get your full roster and you lose 6-1 again. So you probably might have to get rid of this one from now on.
Yeah, I think you may want to go ahead and maybe remove this one from the map pool for a while. Capsule or not, Kenny or not, Thieves struggle mightily on this very map and mode. Not a good time for them here in this game number 2, but it's a good time for us because we've got ourselves a 1-1 series, buddy. Hotel Control up next. How you feeling about it?
Oh, I'm excited, man, because we saw OpTic Texas versus Atlanta FaZe. They're 11th overall in attacking rounds, but to start that reverse sweep, they won 3 attacking rounds in that control. So it's up in the air for me, man. I'm excited we're going at least to map 4.
Absolutely. We got ourselves a guaranteed map 4, but could it go to 5? I think there's absolutely potential for it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure and stay with us. It is the final matchup here of day 1 at the Boston Major. OpTic Texas, LA Thieves. Stay with us. Control up next.
The Call of Duty League is presented by the GMC Hummer EV Pickup, the world's first all-electric super truck. Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Howdy, friends, and welcome back to Major 2 live from Boston as we're in our final matchup of the day. OpTic Texas taking on the LA Thieves as we get ready to jump in toward our control. Jay, really for the LA Thieves, control has been the blueprint. It's been the name of the game for them as of late. 7 wins this season. All 7 of those W's have come with a control win as well.
Oh, well, this is going to be a big one for them then. Obviously, both of these squads, at least I said it in the beginning of the series, all the respawns, I feel like they're going to be dead even. But this map, whoever takes this one, at least in my opinion, is going to be able to walk away with this series. OpTic Texas, we know what they struggle on. It's their attacking rounds. Yeah. But the last time they played it, they take 3 versus Atlanta FaZe. And then on the opposite side for the Thieves, they're pretty consistent overall. Yeah. Attacking and defense, 5th best in the league. So it's going to be all about these attacks for me. Who can take more? And whoever takes this map, in my opinion, takes the series.
Absolutely, buddy. It's going to be a fun one. So far, though, throughout this series, we do sit with a 1-1 scoreline, but it's been downright dominance on the Mercados. It was a hardpoint W from the Thieves. They look great. It was a 6-1 victory in the game number 2 for OpTic, and now we come into this control all level. As we said, we've got stories out the wazoo. This one writes itself. Thieves v OpTic. No better way to end out our opener here on day 1 at the Boston Major. Into game 3 we go, and it's Envoy. Well, with the unfortunate stun off the rip, Jay.
Fortunate stun, but can he find the timing? Can he find the timing? He sets up the pinch through double desk. Just had to eliminate Huke. He at least wins that 1-on-1 versus Octane, so his teammates cannot sprint forward. What it looked like to be LA Thieves with full bedroom control gets shut down by the plays coming in from Huke. Now you have to cut your losses over towards B, spawning closer towards kitchen, just gonna get A out of the way.
Yeah, it was a valiant effort there for Kenny to try to make the play. You could tell he had something on his mind. It was to try to get all over that B zone. However, he falls, and now the focus quickly goes over toward A. Nice gunfight victory there in the back for Shotzzy, but doesn't really mean a whole lot, or rather for Dashy, excuse me, but doesn't mean a ton in the overall scheme of things. Thieves, they just jumped right on that A zone. Capture is in, 2 minutes now to work with.
Yeah, now they have 1 player already pushed out in towards bedroom, which is going to be iLLeY, influencing those spawns for all the Thieves players to consistently spawn out towards kitchen. But Drazah, he's able to find 2, so you have to at least hold your irons up if you are OpTic Texas. These kills are going to be crucial. You see where they're now spawning all the way towards Jules. They take down iLLeY, full pinches on, and now the stack is in.
Yeah, man, iLLeY was their lifeline, and now that the Thieves have cut him down, it is a full-on stack inside of the zone. That thing begins to fly. That's going to be 2 segments through. Octane, last line of defense, or rather of offense, technically in that moment, is OpTic break on forward, but that dent is absolutely going to be felt throughout the remainder of this game. Already 5 segments to speak of, and that time, I mean, they've still got a lot of it, Jay. A lot of time to get OpTic down in numbers, and right now it's another player pouncing onto the point. Kenny now locking things down, tosses out the nade, does get dropped, but trades, map positioning, still great right now for Thieves.
Yeah, everything is going right now for the Thieves. They're finding the kills, they're maintaining bedroom control. Now they're just trying to slay around their one teammate who was on the point. Drazah finds one, but eventually he gets traded in OpTic. They find another break right in the nick of time. Perfect timing for them to now get pushed up in towards bedroom. It looked like to be a great push, gets instantly shut down. Now the Thieves have a minute to work with.
Minute to work with, and given the place rather that OpTic Texas happened to be, then we'll spawn the LA Thieves toward the top side of the restaurant. So they're gonna have to hit the long routes, but oftentimes this is the route to take. Hotel control is very much offensive favored right now. We'll see if OpTic can come out strong in the later stages of this defense. They've allowed for quite a few segments to go, but can they come up clutch? Thieves, they have stacked themselves into the point, and nobody from OpTic is even there to watch it. That is a clean 4 down and a sprint to the finish there for LAT. A commanding 1-0 to start.
That was just a perfect play call right there from the Thieves. The teamwork right now is working out beautifully in these respawns. They know that at least 3 players from OpTic Texas have to be pushed out towards bed. We catch this 1 player off spawn, eventually he's gonna spawn out. Then when you know that player's spawning towards Jules' side, your sole focus is just screaming bottom bed, lights, top bedroom, as they find all the kills in those final moments. Stack the point, and they're able to take round 1.
And you've always talked about it too, man. I mean, we know that the LA Thieves are obviously the defending world champions. They go back-to-back to close out Vanguard, but there's something to be said about this team's teamwork, right? To be constantly labeled as a roster last season that just was not good enough. Everybody should be dropped. They've gone through a lot together, and they've learned a lot about each other through that time. As you said, man, it just feels like whether it's hard points, if it's search destroys, even just maps in general, they can be down 2-0, 0-2 in a control, and they just always have that composure. They display it in that round one. We'll see if they can make it a commanding 2-0, as it is a solid start in terms of the kills for them.
This has just been a perfect hold from the Thieves. It's already been 35 seconds, and OpTic have nothing to show for it. A lot of map control right now in favor of LAT. But with that two-piece, it's now going to open up this 8.4 OpTic Texas. All your focus is just taking down Kenny. He's just being such a nuisance and towards Catwalk. And OpTic Texas at least win a couple gunfights over towards B, and there's 3 plays on that side of the map.
And that's a great pick for Huke. That's really going to be one player now for Thieves that you have to think about who could be rotating over. Octane wins a big fight as Shotzzy looked to get all kinds of comfortable inside of the Thieves' space. One player left on the point. OpTic, they do grab a segment. And thankfully for them, player number 6, that's going to be Shotzzy, has made his way over at the restaurant. So pausing time really is the biggest factor. But Thieves, they are here. Kenny tries to get aggressive. Same thing can be said for Octane. He's looking for a few. And I think the last player who could try to cause a bit of issues is Drazah. But he quickly gets found out. This looks to be an objective that should go the way of OpTic. And Shotzzy once more gets sent forward.
Depending on the play that Envoy tries to make,
he's thinking about it.
He's thinking about it because there's only one player right now for OpTic Texas on that point. Slowly trying to work his way in through back kitchen, trying to find a couple spawners. Trying to rotate to the backside, but the second tick is already in. Envoy's gonna decide to strike. He finds the first kill. Kenny finds the second. And the clock is ticking. It's only 20 seconds left. OpTic have to close out A.
You can tell, man, OpTic Texas were banking on that A capture. They had no idea that there was a pinch being established. Now we've got 13 seconds, and it's an all-out brawl. A lot of lives that you may have to throw at this if you're OpTic, all things considered. You've got one player also in that B zone, trying to distract, trying to make life easier for his other squad mates. While he falls, it is a worthy transaction in the end. A zone granted, but it did not come without a lot of live sacrifice. 16-12 right now in favor of Thieves.
Now a minute to work with if you are OpTic Texas. It all starts with getting this bedroom control. Shotzzy win that first gunfight. Dashy finds the second. Now the pinch is going to be here. It's going to be on Huke, trying to find these timing on the kills towards Spa. Everybody is dropping. The stack is going to be in for OpTic.
You can feel it, right? They've got the great crossfire established. Dashy toward the top side. Kenny's able to wipe away one. Only one player currently sits inside of that objective, but boy, is his Vaznet firing. Shotzzy right now on the 5 spree. The SMG duo now in Huke is here. However, Envoy comes away with 2. iLLeY still in the back lines, and OpTic Texas. It looks slow to start, but boy, were they sprint toward the end. Just found the right timing, Jay. That's what it's all about in hotel control.
That's all it came down to. Once Shotzzy wins that first gunfight towards bedroom, you already put yourself in a powerful position. Then Dashy finds one through the middle of the map. Then you eventually allow Huke, that player that was going on the flank, to time those kills of the players coming off spawn in towards back Spa. They're able to find every single kill. They don't even need the stack to happen, as Shotzzy was the only player from OpTic Texas to close out that B point. 16-9 so far in this control. 1 kill, he earns that cruise.
And that's just the benefit, right? Of OpTic being able to have a player like Shotzzy who can just explode like for plays like that, and that will be the cruise missile acquired. Great work there for Shotzzy, making sure he plays his life. Now it's 17-9. He can absolutely begin to fry us. So look to try to manipulate those spawns. Thieves 4 strong, now toward the bottom side of the minimap.
Yeah, with iLLeY dropping, now this is going to give free range to just push right on towards this B point. You don't want to challenge this cross, though, as Dashy's able to take down Envoy. First tick is still not going to be done. Hooks wins some insane 1v1s versus Kenny as the first tick comes in. All of LA Thieves spawning on the better side towards bedroom. They're trying to flood out towards B, but Dashy trying to hold strong.
Yeah, it felt like for a moment, I think like 3 players in OpTic Texas all had the right idea, but they all make the same play at the same time. Gives Thieves an opening at that B zone. And really, you've got 2 bodies on either side of the map right now for Thieves, but it is a nice triple in the feed there for OpTic. By the way, Shotzzy still yet to die. He sits at 8. We'll see if he can make that only rise. Can he reach double digits? Meanwhile, for Dashy, he falls off of his streak. And now for Thieves, they've got some bodies, they've got some man count. Now over at B as they jump on, stall the time for the moment. It could be iLLeY to make the play. Stunned out, trying to find one.
No.
Nothing guaranteed, tosses out the nade. Says a prayer, hoping to find a pick, but nothing granted. This looks to be the B zone acquired.
Oh yeah, B zone is done and dusted. LA Thieves, they get the stack going. They're able to extend time by a minute. So now OpTic Texas have to hold strong on the defensive end towards A. Want to always have 2 players in towards kitchen, so you can influence those spawns for LA Thieves to spawn out towards bedroom and try to hit that overextension. Straight beams coming in out of Dashy in that 1v1.
It's a bit of a frustrating moment though for OpTic, considering it just felt like Thieves had free reign over at B. Now things can begin to get complicated. However, Dashy able to find a few players making their way on the flank. Same thing can be said right now for Huke. He's in the back. Spawn eventually does get traded out, but you see what his life does. It allows for the rest of OpTic Texas to inch on forward. iLLeY a bit aggressive. He ends up falling. It is a full-on headbutt. Now into the restaurant we go. It's a party of 8 as we fly on forward. And right now, OpTic Texas are winning the fights. Last man here is Kenny. Oh, he's able to win his 2.
Kenny finds 2, and look at the pitch coming in from Envoy. Have one player in Dash. He reads the play beautifully. He knows that one player has to be pitching from Jewel. He doesn't win the gunfight. So now LA Thieves have the man advantage. The pitch comes in from Drazah. The stack is now going to be here. Closest player is going to be Shotzzy. He's taking the long route.
He's hitting the long route, but Thieves, they all are on that objective. Shotzzy's going to have to get a move on. He's going to have to get a move on. He gets found out. Can anybody from OpTic Texas dive into the point? They will, but it's just a sliver too late, as it is all about attack. And this is what we saw in the last series for OpTic Texas, Jay. On this very map and mode, it was 5 for 5 in attack. So far, it is a straight 3 for 3. I don't know what it is, but OpTic on Hotel, but nobody is taking defenses.
Yeah, right there was just on that 2-piece from Kenny. Once he finds that 2, all of OpTic Texas now spawn out at Spa. You had Envoy go for the pinch. He wins a huge one-on-one versus Dashy. And then the last player up is Huke. You take care of him towards kitchen. The stack comes in. You know, they're spawning all the way across the map. Perfect teamwork right there from the Thieves to now go up to 1.
See what they can do with it. A huge spot for Thieves. Back and forth we go. Each team saying anything you can do, we can do better. OpTic handed a haymaker when it came down to that last round, and a great start. Ultimately here for Thieves, but a lot of it's going to be based off this 1v1. If Envoy's able to take it, that would be big, able to do so. And with those spawns, OpTic Texas now have numbers at B.
They have numbers at B. You just have to get past the human turret. As he's staying alive towards top. God, Eddie, you take him down, so now you can sprint forward. You're also eliminating these players, trying to set up that pinch towards top bedroom. So now the stack is potentially going to be on in. First segment is about to be complete.
We got 2 players on it, and you can see OpTic Texas trying to prepare for the brigade that's about to be the Thieves as they rush on forward. iLLeY needing to win this fight, able to do so. He drops, still a 2v1, now making it 2v0. Shotzzy's here, and they tell him to rush on forward, and they're going to give this one up. The Thieves decide to say, you know what? They bested us at it. Let's not toss too many lives away, and that will be B zone acquired. And the more difficult one at that, Jay, is now going to be confirmed.
2-minute hold. It has to be for the Thieves. Over towards this 8-point. You have Octane who's taking his sweet time in towards kitchen. Probably preparing a couple meals in there. She's taking a nice corner. He knows that he's influencing the spawn. For OpTic Texas to try to overextend through bedroom. But the SMGs for OpTic, they're not slowing down. They're trying to find an opening.
We'll see if they can find it. Shotzzy now tries to go for the flank. Dashy is there for the trade. He eventually gets found out, so wave 1 cleared for Thieves.
Wave 1 cleared. You're getting those close spawns. If you are OpTic Texas towards kitchen, then they cannot find any wins in the gun department. So at least Dashy finds the first kill. All of his teammates now at bedroom, so it's going to be Shotzzy trying to hit that overextension while his teammates try to wrap back and take kitchen control. But this opening kill is going to be big. If OpTic can get it, then they're going to invest the cruise right now.
We'll see if he can do any damage. Oh, Dashy ends up falling and now makes this streak that much more important. Information is all that they will have. No kills acquired. Now less than a minute on the clock. Shotzzy, you can tell the wheels are turning. He wants to make a flank, but the problem is that not only are Thieves prepared for it, but there's no real pinch to be established. Shotzzy's on the back, but nobody can stay alive through the front. But has he found his lane? Eventually does get found out, and that will allow for OpTic Texas to send their players on forward. The other member of this SMG duo and Huke trying to get something done. He gets shut down too. Thieves locking this one down perfectly. A solid hold up to this point. Now 30 seconds to go.
And this is basically going to be the last push coming in from OpTic Texas, but that's 2 kills going in their favor. You had the last 2 plays from aLLeY Thieves, now spawning all the way across this map. You just have to win these trades. They take off both of those players on this 8 point. Now they get on it. The clock is going to stop. Envoy with a huge one-on-one onto Huke. You just have to win the gunfights right now if you are OpTic Texas, as Shotzzy's not slowing down.
As we said, man, Shotzzy is just given the green light time and time again. That's 1 segment, still 2 more to go. The stack is in, putting pressure on the aLLeY.
Gotta go.
They've got to jump on forward. Octane with 1, Drazah falls. Octane does 2, and OpTic Texas now make it 4 for 4 in attacks.
Now that's tied up in segments. It all comes down to the slaying.
Should we toss a coin, or flip a coin rather?
No, I don't think so. I think the aLLeY Thieves did a better job at slaying on their defensive rounds. So it's going to be aLLeY on the defensive side. OpTic Texas, one of the worst teams that we have on the attacking side.
It doesn't look
win
like
3 versus Atlanta FaZe and have the potential to do it here again, this time versus aLLeY.
It is 9 straight attacking round victories, in rounds of which OpTic Texas have played on Hotel now, from Atlanta FaZe to the aLLeY Thieves. We'll see if they can make it a straight 10 for 10 on a map that just feels like offensive rosters, offensive sides are starting to figure out. Right into that B zone we go. It made perfect sense for OpTic to try to go for the standard play, but they go aggressive, they go hunting, and it doesn't look like it's going to work out, Jay. They get found out quick.
Yeah, they get cut down. Envoy wins a huge one-on-one towards top mid and then wins that gunfight in towards top bedroom. Can't find the kill onto Huke, though. Big kill to at least get some bedroom control, but OpTic, they're trying to get the easy win out the way. They're just going to rotate over towards A. The last player here is going to be Octane. The trade should come in, as you have multiple players here from OpTic, but Octane, he's finding a piece.
Octane has been playing great so far throughout this control, now at 26 and 18. He is responsible for every single gunfight victory over at this A zone, whether he's been killing them or he's been setting up his teammates to do the damage for him. Sam LaRue showing up big so far throughout this round 5, and with 30 seconds to go, OpTic have no segments yet, Jay.
They have nothing to show for it. You have to at least stop this clock. Get on towards one of these points. This aLLeY Thieves are not going to give up anything easy. That's already 3 dead in the feed. Last player closest to a point is going to be Huke. The spawns come in towards bedroom, so it's all going to be on Kenny. He's the guy watching the cross.
Yeah, this is the play right here. This is the play. Kenny and Envoy looking to do their work,
no.
But Dashy and Shotzzy are able to find 2. Envoy toward the top side. He doesn't finish off the kill. He does not finish off the kill. That's 1 segment now done over at B. He's trying to buy time for his teammates, as that's going to be 3 down. Octane, the sole man alive, and he has got 0 presence over at that A zone. There's pressure on both, and the Thieves, they now got to get a move on.
The second tick is already in that B. iLLeY did a great job of just stalling out that clock, allowing his teammates to get on the 8 point, to now have the potential to send this to an extra minute into this round number 5. aLLeY Thieves, there's still 12 seconds on the clock. Don't know if they're going to give this one up for free. They're still putting pressure on.
Oh, this is the fight. This is the fight. Drazah's able to take him down, but take a look at player number 6. Shotzzy has managed to sneak through at B. He needs to stay alive or hope that his teammates can stay up over at that A zone. It's a 1v1 now over at A as Shotzzy falls. There's nobody who's going to be here except for a few members who quickly come off of spawn. That was a very dicey moment there toward the stretch, where OpTic get the close spawns in kitchen. They grab the final few bits of progress. But Jay, take a look at those lives.
All you need to do right now, if you are LAT, is find 1 wave of kills, and the round is going to be yours. Maintain bedroom side. They have 3 players on that side of the map. OpTic Texas is trying to find an opening. Shotzzy unfortunately drops right there to Octane, so only 5 lives remaining. You can't make any mistakes. Kenny finds 2, no more respawns.
No more respawns left. And for the Thieves, you're telling them, hey, we could slow down the game. They'll do that every chance they get. It is 1 heroic late push needed right now for Texas, as all 3 go strong onto the point. Will the Thieves be able to adapt? Yes, they will. The aLLeY Thieves coming away with a nail-biting control. It was all about attack until that round number 5. And you gotta, I guess, tip the strategy there for OpTic at the end. You just try to jump on the point, catch the Thieves off guard, but they were ready that entire game. I don't know about you, Jay, but that final defensive round, it feels like a lot of the weight was on Octane's shoulders. Started off great in that round number 5, but he was beaming all the way through at 31-19 to finish.
He just shuts down that A push. Like OpTic Texas, they put a lot of pressure early on towards B. Trades are going back and forth, and they were thinking, all right, we're probably gonna have A for free. Octane is always gonna be playing over towards the God Heady, but he sits behind benches and finds 3 kills, 2 with attack 56, and then the last one with the Vaznev. He was just making plays. And then when your SMGs are putting the pressure that they were, Kenny and Envoy really shut down that final round alongside Octane because it was 2-piece after 2-piece. Every time a flank needed to come in, it was Envoy to start it off at that B push, find the kill in towards top bed. And then even in those final moments, Kenny wins a huge 2v1 in towards single arch. No more respawns for OpTic Texas. I thought that they were gonna do it again, man. Straight all attacking rounds on this map, but they fall short in the final one. LA Thieves now up 2-1.
Yeah, it was wild. I mean, like I said, we've talked about it to start off the year. Hotel control, you know, is around like 60-40 in favor of the defense. But if you've been watching OpTic Texas series as of late, as we said, it's basically 90% favored as of late toward the offensive side, a total flip-flop. But it just felt like, I don't know, typical Thieves fashion. When we talk about the history of this lineup, what they've been able to do, dominant in respawns. They look very well controlled, very well communicated in the hard point. They lose a search destroy, which last year was pretty common until the end of the season. And then solid work in the control. I feel like they were always aware of what was going on. And as we said, a continually very difficult defensive side. A lot of things to think about. It felt like Thieves was never in panic mode.
Yeah, Thieves are definitely not in panic mode because they played a couple rounds already on that map. They knew what OpTic were having a lot of success on, and it's usually in these early gunfights. When OpTic found those kills over towards B, the stack always came in. You had to chalk it up and play a 2-minute defense at A. But this time they hold down that push. You send your SMGs on the flank. You shut down both points. And now you're up 2-1 in the series. And now if you're OpTic Texas, this gets scary, man, because HyDra Hardpoint is not a map that they're quite familiar with.
Yeah, and it feels like as well, man, like, again, when we talk about the Thieves, like, not that this is by any means like a Gabutsu by any stretch of the imagination, but it does work like it at times in terms of like the AR presence, how you can be so punished if you're not making the right rotations. We know that Thieves, whenever you talk about maybe a more AR dominant map, a map that's so based off of rotations, you know, maybe low engagements, but high positional value. This is a map that Thieves, maybe record-wise, don't play a ton. Nobody really plays it a lot, but this could be one that's great for them as the game continues.
Well, who knows? We're just going to have to wait and see because both of these teams, they do tend to struggle on rotations on this hill. Believe it or not, they're tied at 10th overall in the league at 40%. That means they're not winning rotations. The only difference that I've seen was that OpTic Texas on their breaks are 11th on this map. The difference is for LA Thieves, they are 2nd overall on this map. Okay. So if you are OpTic Texas, you have to win your rotations and you have to hold better, man, because we saw map number 1, they won a majority of those rotations, just as setup didn't equal the time.
Yeah, without question, OpTic Texas, as we said, in a dire spot. That round 5 that felt like at times was going their way. However, they've lost it. That search destroy momentum has now ended. It's back over toward the LA Thieves side. When we talk about a map like HyDra Hardpoint, is this the first time we've seen it with the new OpTic lineup, or have they played
No, we've seen it once. We've seen it once. They played versus Vegas in one of their last qualifying matches throughout stage 2. They started off that game like down 160-40. They just allowed Vegas to chain hill after hill. They slowly started to get back into this game, made it a very great finish to that one, but they still fell short. So now if you are OpTic Texas, everything on the line, man. Everything on the line. You want to stay on the winner's bracket side after coming into this tournament, the #1 seed, Lando.
I totally forgot about that, man. It just feels like when we talk about the Thieves, like this is not like a #8 seed type of roster. They hit different on land, but are we in store for another Game 5 here on day #1, or is this where the Thieves call series? Sam LaRue having a phenomenal day so far, at least in terms of the respawn, sporting a 1.3. And if this goes the way that Thieves fans think, he's going to be the guy beaming, Jay.
But here we go, map number 4, HyDra. Definitely going to see some swimming. Who has got their backstroke and their freestyle on point? It's going to be OpTic Texas starting off on not the preferred side. When you're on the LAD side towards top broken, it's easy rotation over towards B2. So neither one of these squads want to fight for any hill time because you already have Huke swimming nice and calm.
There he is. Good old Huke, he's got his goggles on. Unfortunately, Envoy is there to read him here in the splishy splashes over toward the right side of the hill. It's Envoy who claims the first second, and right as he does that, well, Kenny's there to greet him with the nade. It's all water routes. We don't want to hop in the hard point. It's all about going for the water here on HyDra. OpTic Texas finally able to have a toehold there into the HP. Final 10 seconds looks to belong to them. And for good reason. Thieves are backing up, preparing for next.
That was great work right there from OpTic Texas to not allow the Thieves to get fully set up off of that P1. They only get 1 second. So OpTic Texas started off on the bad side. Now off their rotation. OpTic trying to put pressure on through top dome, but look at your mini-map. It's going to be Shotzzy. Makes his way in through bottom water. He's trying to find the timing, trying to find it. You're going for a one-on-one in the back versus Drazah. He eventually gets taken down by Envoy. So LA Thieves, they hold the first push.
Yeah, and that's the problem, right? As well, if you're OpTic Texas, you're really banking on him to be able to make the pinch, cause some chaos, at least find a kill. However, OpTic seem to not have a whole lot of problems to the front side as they dive on forward. I think somebody actually had already earned a streak.
Oh, man.
Octane cuts away 4 in a row. Impressive work there from the turret. As we said on a map like HyDra, it feels like it would favor him, and so far, just through 2 hills, he is beaming already. OpTic walk back with the tail between their legs. However, they've got to deal with Envoy. A man who likes to create chaos does so, but unfortunately, the timing does not work out.
And this is the hill that OpTic Texas did struggle versus Vegas Legion on. They could not find a break. They allowed Vegas to get a full 60, but this time around, they're the first here. Fully set up, spawns in towards the back. You have Shotzzy, who was blocking that back spawn towards back gas and also back green. But now with his teammates dropping, it's time to rotate on in. One player is going to go on that flank. He's trying to find the timing. Octane just can't pick up the kill. Shotzi's going to get out with his life. And OpTic Texas do a great job of finding kill after kill, and now the spawns flip.
Yeah, they do a great job, but they send themselves forward. Thieves now with the backside spawns, as you called it, partner. iLLeY now trying to lock things down. He's just having a hard time seeing, waiting for the smoke to dissipate. Catches some great timing there onto Envoy. Back and forth we go. OpTic Texas threatening with a lead change as 3 fall. Great work for OpTic there to adapt, and now they hold better side when it comes down to spawns. Therefore, that next hard point, lead acquired and map positioning as well. Could be a great situation, Jay, for OpTic to start to stretch their arms out a bit. Maybe establish a small advantage.
Yeah, and iLLeY also earns himself that cruise missile, so that can be crucial as we get later into this game. Now OpTic Texas win the rotation over towards P4. All of LA Thieves trying to put pressure on through Dome. It's all on Shotzzy. He finds 2 in the feed with that SMG. He's not slowing down. He knows that there's still pressure here. He gets the information, goes for the drop shot. And now he earns himself his own cruise missile. 2 to work with for OpTic.
You can tell, man. You can just tell Shotzy's trying to make some highlight plays, put the team on his back. As OpTic in a great position, it's iLLeY. Hitting some shots out toward the side as Dashy ends up falling toward the back, so Thieves flip. 20 very valuable points still to fight for. It was great in highlight plays from OpTic early, but as we said, Jay, Thieves, they're a breaking team, and right there they do it.
Yeah, now you just cut your losses if you are OpTic Texas. You're only going to find yourself down by 6 to 7 points. You just have to win this rotation. One player in, Kenny, already sneaks his way in through bottom window. He could be a nuisance. You have to take care of him. The stun comes in. The information is going to get picked up. Just beautiful teamwork, beautiful communication coming in from OpTic.
Cut down the first wave. Thieves look to rebound. By the way, Octane 13-4. He also sits on a 6 spree, so we can be seeing multiple streaks at some point throughout this HyDra. Back and forth we go. Octane comes away with 2. Envoy there for the 3rd. So player alive, and the point is going to be Shotzzy. He drops 2. A clean 4 down there for the Thieves, but it is a bit of an interesting spawn situation. Sole man alive is actually iLLeY. He's able to take away 2. So Thieves not able to adapt to where he happens to be, but it feels like, Jay, they're adapting accordingly. Envoy goes for the quick 180.
LA Thieves so far with a great hold on Generator Hill. They're just mowing them down. 17-6 for Octane, but the break finally comes in for OpTic Texas. Basically a tie game if OpTic are able to pick up this remaining time. But look at those spawns. Look at your mini-map. It's going to be iLLeY already trying to push out towards Dome. He knows that he wants his team to have that side of the map. Going into the next hill, he influences the spawn, and this is where you can potentially invest some of those cruise missiles.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We very well can see 2 cruise missiles entering in this map very, very soon. As the first set of rotations are done, we're now back toward P1. Both teams very much covering that right side of your screen. They're on the mini-map. A big 1v1. Drazah's able to take it. Meanwhile, it is OpTic still with the preferred spawns and still right now with the time. Trying to get back involved in the fight is the Alaskan Assassin, maybe in somewhat of uncharted waters. A little hotter than Alaska here on HyDra, but a few players begin to go for a swim. And this Octane looks to lay down the work. Thieves just trying to establish some map control. OpTic not allowing it.
Yeah, OpTic just doing a great job of just keeping them all off this time. Just keep them off as long as you can. Win your rotation over towards next. They're going to be fully set up for the push. Shotzzy makes his way through the water. He finds one. Huke eventually, a couple team shots, is able to find the second. But now this is where OpTic can potentially pull away with this game. If you're Octane, you might have to invest a cruise missile. You do win 2 gunfights, so now the pinch is going to be on. Drazah just has to play it slow from top dome.
Yep, Octane will call on the spree, rather call on the streak. Here it comes, nice and fast. Blows on up, but I think it's actually Kenny who found the kill that he was looking for to begin with. A big situation here for Thieves as they have broken right on into this hard point. OpTic Texas on the outside, and I want to say there's a streak actually coming in for Shotzzy. And that will be able to land. Shotzzy jumps right back inside of the hard point, and now it basically comes down to a 1v1. Him versus Drazah. Thieves begin to pounce on into the hard point. Shotzzy does all he can, at least allows for a bit of a team kill, but that streak does not get invested well.
And this is where the game can change, because look at the route that Envoy was able to hit. Huke is trying to sniff him out, but he doesn't check the corner deep enough. So now with LA Thieves getting this remaining 5 to 10 seconds off of P2, they're going to put a lot of pressure on towards the front. They open up with a bunch of kills. It's then going to be Envoy's time to strike.
Envoy waits for his chance. Spots out Huke.
Look at those spawns.
And OpTic Texas now on the other side of the map. It is a perfect play coming in from Envoy and the LA Thieves. You've got one player still in the back lines. He ends up getting dropped as well. It is such great hard point. They're out of the Thieves. It's what you have to do here on HyDra. As Octane now at 24-9, spree after spree, he continues to light it up. 24 seconds still to fight for.
Big time for either one of these squads. Obviously, if you're LA Thieves, you're spawning out towards the back, so you need to get this. So you're not going to win that rotation over towards next. But Huke and Dashy, they combine for 3. That's all 4 dead in the feed. Potentially, this final 10 can't be there, but all of LA Thieves are going to be on Dashy. He has to at least find a trade. He does a great job of at least finding one. Relieves some of that pressure as OpTic Texas, once again, are going to be able to win that rotation over towards P4.
And I feel like, Jim, while we do have a 10-point game that's getting ready to equalize, it just feels like for Texas, you really want to see a hard point that they can lock down. They've had some early seconds, but it's been the Thieves breaking again. That's the reason why it sits at the scoreline it does. OpTic Texas in a massive spot, currently down 2-1. Let's step aside and see how the comms are sounding. A listening with OpTic.
I'm looking low OpTic.
Just keep ironing.
I thought it's good.
No, but he's still castle. Yeah, I spawned out. Yeah, behind you too, maybe. Whoever's out, stay alive. Whoever's out, stay alive.
They're gonna P2 cons, I think.
I block P2. Yo, one guy's small.
What's up, P2?
It's small. Yo, it's small.
Which one? Yo, he's
going front. Absolute front. Good shit. Two rolled right now.
Top new. Still top new. Brandon above you.
Spawning on new.
100%.
I left that guy.
Zinni, Kenny.
Top Zinni. P5 as well.
Top Zinni. I'm gliding there.
Go ahead.
I can tell you that. Give me a second. Yep.
I'm going to hop on.
When a new, they'll get Zinni. I'm pretty
Is there anyone back, right?
Yeah, all new. I'm gonna get together.
Yo, one guy's up top.
All new.
He's right side time, and one guy's up top.
He's top in there now. One guy's top door.
One guy's in the back of me. We're in the back, Okay. Deep back like gas. I'm ignoring him. He ran the blue.
He's on the gen.
He's small corner.
There's one deep. Yeah, let's go fast.
Yeah, go quick. He's up top. And one guy's close up time.
Yep. Watch your back door. Two working front door. Small as well as that.
You hit that shit out.
Give up.
One guy's close back door. Another one small, Kenny.
Yo, one guy's back engine. He's still back engine.
One guy's P3 hard to play. He's going right side outskirts sewers.
They're gonna try to work left as well, guys here.
Yeah, he's top right.
Watch out left.
I'm taking out.
Watch out left.
Top right.
Top two.
And the comms right there for OpTic Texas, they're firing. The small talk is all there. They just couldn't find the break on that hill. LA Thieves were just keeping the kill stagnant, trading when they needed to, and were able to give themselves a nice little 30-point lead. But off the rotation, it's going to be OpTic Texas with the preferred side. They're starting off on towards Dome. These gunfights are going to be big.
Yeah, these gunfights, when it comes down to making sure you're locking down your current spawns, also not allowing for the Thieves to jump onto this P1. It's got to be clutch gunfight victories here for OpTic Texas. It has to favor them, and right now, off the rip, doesn't look great. Octane, though, eventually falls. Great work coming in from Bruce as he's swimming toward the outskirts. Kenny trying to make the plays, thinking about next. And like we said, there's some still very valuable time over at P1. Thieves, they've got plenty of bodies here. And if that's the case, it makes this next hold that much more important now for OpTic.
Yeah, you need to hold this right now if you are OpTic, or the game is going to be over. Thieves have been able to find break after break on their P2 setups. This time they don't have a cruise missile to work with. That's Drazah with the SMG, can't find the kill. Dashy and iLLeY combined for 2. They hold down the first push. All of LA Thieves spawning out towards the front.
And Envoy looks to make the round. Have they spotted him? Do they know that he's going to be in a position like this? Puts in a bit of damage. Kenny trying to do some work himself. Envoy pops on up.
Hold on.
And now Dashy begins to get comfortable. OpTic in a wonderful position right now as the Thieves trying to break past that 50-yard line. It comes down to this play.
And OpTic, they can win it off this hard point. They just have to hold the next push down, and the map is going to be theirs. Huke at least finds the first kill. Onto Octane. He's just finessing around with the knife, and he's able to line it up onto Envoy. That's another 4 dead. OpTic can close it out right now.
They absolutely can. The Thieves, they've got to break. They've got to jump in this hard point. Have OpTic just made the comeback.
Gotta go.
And they made the comeback. iLLeY, put him in the dirt. We've got a game 5 again. Jay, it was 222 to 185. OpTic needed that to be a full 60. We've talked throughout this entire series about how they can't hold LA Thieves. They've been breaking effortlessly, and when they have to, finally, they're able to hold a hard point, and that is what gets them over the finish line.
Just a beautiful setup right there from OpTic. They were the early rotators over towards P2. They make the adjustments. This time they have a player pushed out towards Ruins, cutting down every player from LA Thieves, trying to hit that overextension, trying to set up that flank. When you're forcing all of LA to just flood through Dome, one by one. This is when you allow your ARs to post up, kill after kill, as they shut down that final push. OpTic, they never gave up, man. They never gave up in that hard point. They fought to the very end, and finally they got a great P2 hold to now force us to a game 5, man.
That is wild. I mean, you're thinking about the end of that game. You're seeing the score. I mean, you and I are starting to think of it like, okay, LA Thieves, just one break. That's all they need. Just make OpTic Texas feel uncomfortable. The fact that they're able to balance P1, not allowing for too much time to go the way of Thieves, and then lock that hard point the way down that they did. I mean, Huke doesn't have a phenomenal game statistically wise, but he puts that knife to good use at the stretch. OpTic Texas, they just needed one moment, and they got it.
Game 5, man. Woo. We got another one. Great way. This is the best day ever, bro.
It is.
Day 1 Boston. Day 1 Boston. We got 19 out of potentially 20 matches played. Insane.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. OpTic Texas versus LA Thieves. We all hoped that it could see a game 5, and it absolutely will. Who's going to take the final matchup of the day here at day number 1 at the Boston Major? We will find out right after this. Howdy, friends, and welcome back to the final match of the day. OpTic Texas are taking on the LA Thieves, and we are going the distance. It's been a crazy, wild ride here at day number 1 of the Boston Major, but Jay, there is no better fitting end to a matchup like this. All the stories, everything coming into it for it to end in the final map possible.
Oh man, this is exciting, man. Game 5 between two of these CDL titans that we have in the league, man. The only thing that scares me is that OpTic have yet to play this map with their new team and their old roster. They have been auto-vetoing this for 2 stages now, so this is a true test to see how good they are in Search and Destroy, playing a map that you have yet to play. So hopefully, we'll see.
We'll see indeed. Boston, you've been great. I need you guys to make some noise.
Oh yeah, we need energy.
Matchup of the day, get loud.
Wait, later, hold on. Who are we going for? Thieves? Are we going for Thieves? I didn't hear nothing, but are we going for OpTic? Are we going for OpTic? All right.
Into round 1 we go. It's all right, crowd. It's your first day. We'll give you that. Into the opening attack. OpTic Texas, aggressive as you'd like. Jump right into that A site, get the bomb down, and for free on top of it all.
Now you force the 4v4 retake. LA Thieves, they tend to struggle on this side, even after getting that first blood. As Kenny takes down Dashy. This is Huke's time to strike, can't find the kill, and now it's all left up to iLLeY, 1v4.
iLLeY wondering what just happened to the teammates. He's got to make a lot of work up. Someone's on the defuse, puts in some shots, makes everybody weak, but too many bodies and time that favors the Thieves. The aggressiveness works, at least to start for OpTic, and it works late there for Thieves.
Just a perfect retake right there from the Thieves. Even though they give that bomb plant up nice and early, Kenny finds that first kill. And then they put the bodies on towards that A bomb. You win the trades, you force it into a 1v4. LA Thieves a pretty flawless defensive round to start us off.
And it's weird, Jay, because we're coming into this talking about how OpTic Texas has 0 reps. The Thieves have plenty. Right? They have a 2-5 record, yet they have the #1 record in first bloods. How is that possible?
Because they're losing a majority of these maps 6-5 or 6-4. So they're always going down to the wire. These just have to make a couple adjustments. We saw it earlier in that round #1, but on the attacking rounds, playing it super slow. Just trying to get the information as Drazah's trying to sneak his way up through field. Stun is definitely going to connect towards the back right corner. Doesn't get the info, but at least he's able to spot him.
And Drazah, yeah, he eventually gets found out. That's great work for OpTic to seize and conquer as they get a lovely 2 and essentially for free. Yep, you're not going to catch Shotzzy in a situation like that. That guy's dolphin diving, bunny hopping, all the animals that you can think of. Now a 2v4 to work with if you're Thieves. You got Kenny and Octane, 2 vets, 2 longtime friends. They're going to need every bit of chemistry to come away with this clutch now, Jay.
Yeah, 2v4 with only 30 seconds left. It looked like the bomb is going to commit over towards B. It's iLLeY from top party, lines it up with the snipe. Can't find the second. Now it's Kenny's turn for a 1v4. He finds the first, but Dashy's there to find the final. OpTic Texas are ready for the push over towards B. Played it nice and patient. Found the first 2 kills, and then slowly picked the rest apart. 1-1.
Dashy puts him in the dirt. And that's the biggest thing, man, when we talk about this game 5, has been really the way that the Mercado looked. OpTic Texas looking flawless right now with the Zeo trio and Dashy, the new generation of OpTic Texas. They've started off their Search and Destroy campaign phenomenally. A 6-1 record with this new team coming into this game 5. And a lot of it has been based off of this guy, right? iLLeY with the sniper was putting on some highlight plays. We'll see if the Thieves have learned from their Mercado mistakes, or if they can try to adapt, as once again, it's a fast plan today.
Yeah, this is going to be another fast plant for OpTic. This time they just have to make a couple adjustments. Envoy finds the first kill onto Shotzzy. So already in the trade advantage is going to be the Thieves. Drazah finds the second. All live up to iLLeY and Dashy.
Oh, the pistol's out. Puts in a decent amount of damage, but not enough. Dashy, a quick 1v2. Bomb is down, and so is he. Thieves, a phenomenal retake. And in that moment, man, you're just seeing a few, you see like OpTic's making the right plays. It's just Thieves are so fast to adapt.
It's just the counters right there because iLLeY, he's holding down all of tower side. If iLLeY decides to go field, they're not able to push up that alley. Envoy probably doesn't find that first blood. But LA Thieves, so far, 2 retakes over towards that site. They usually struggle on this map. 34% in their retakes. But flawless so far to start this one off. Now up 2-1.
Yeah, OpTic's trying to catch Joe Deceives for the most plants right now in the league. So far, not working out great, as we can see based off that score line. Into round number 4 we go. Thieves now jumping back on the attack. And as we said, trying to learn from their mistakes. They've had so many reps, so many rounds so far here on aBeZy, and oftentimes it's come down to losses in the clutch moments. And that sniper is back out from iLLeY on the opposite angle. They still have to be ready for that. As he quickly goes from one side of the map to the other, Jay.
He's trying to go back and forth, trying to see the way the Thieves are going to play this, but Shotzzy finds himself in a great position. Dashy gets the first blood. He knows the pressure is going to be in towards A. When does Shotzzy decide to strike? Octane doesn't line it up with the snipe, but it's Shotzi's turn. He finds a second 4v2.
If you're the final Thieves players, I mean, you're just in an awkward position, back to back, inside of the warehouse. How did they come away with it? It was getting Octane earlier. Oh, iLLeY! I didn't even see that guy. I didn't even see him. That looked like that was like not even a human reaction.
iLLeY's probably not human, especially with that sniper in hand, man. Just makes the shots look easy. They find a kill onto Octane. So far, it's been all defense for both of these teams. Fast plants for OpTic Texas. Great retakes coming in from LAT. No plants on the side of LAT as OpTic, they're just slowly picking them apart. Back and forth, search and destroy, Lando. This one has the potential, and it's got a feeling it's probably going to go round 11.
It just feels like it. It just feels like it. It's the way a lot of these search destroys have gone. But if iLLeY has anything to say about it, he'll at least be able to find a first pick for the squad. Incredible snipers really on both sides of the stage. Octane versus iLLeY, as I'm sure they will see each other very soon. But in this third attack now for OpTic Texas, a bit of a different look, Jay. Been straight up fast A hits, slowing things down now.
Yeah, they haven't found any success when they get that bomb planted. So let's just take our time. Try to read the aggression, where the Thieves are trying to push from as Octane finds that first kill all the way out towards Yellow Van. Now already puts himself into first blood. Envoy finds the second. All left up to iLLeY as iLLeY's gonna get spotted. iLLeY eventually gets taken down, all left up to Dashy, and that was just a perfect setup right there for the Thieves. Octane with the first blood. Your SMGs roaming around the middle of the map. 4 up, 4 down. Clean round right there for LA.
And I feel like, Jay, moving forward, I mean, if you're OpTic Texas in your future offenses, you've kind of tried everything, right?
Yeah.
You've tried to play fast, you've tried to play slow, nothing's working.
I think the thing that you gotta change is just your setup post-plant. Like, you can't allow the Thieves to get that first blood and already put themselves in the trade advantage. When you get that bound down in a 4v4, just play for a trade. Now LA Thieves take the very first attacking round, very first defensive round on the map. It's now up 3-2.
Thieves trying to keep the streak intact. A lot of matchups between these franchises so far throughout CDL history. The Thieves have that advantage. I believe it's 7-5 right now. They've won the last 3 matchups. In the last 3 matchups on land. Trying to defend that here in Boston. As right into this round we go. And the man of the hour is going to be Huke, but it's Dashy who starts things off with the first blood. As Huke falls, it's at least going to be positive numbers still for OpTic Texas. The dust settles 3v2. And who else is it? Octane and Kenny again.
Again. On their attacking rounds. Octane did pop that dead silence, but he's got nothing to show for it. It's now just 40 seconds left on the round. You have 2 players from OpTic in iLLeY and Dashy just roaming around trying to play for the trade. And Shotzzy is the line of defense, just holding down this cross towards A.
Time continues to dwindle. And if you're OpTic, cool. Okay, not so cool. Kenny jumps right on through, strikes at the perfect time possible, and he'll be able to get that plant down. However, iLLeY, pistol in hand, he's ready to take somebody down, but Shots not able to greet him. He pulls out the sniper, close range. And they close the door, understandably so.
And iLLeY gets the information of how they're set up. One player has to be couches, the other one is going to be towards the opposite door.
Oh.
And Dashy finds the kill. Now it's all of up to Octane, 1v1.
Dashy versus Octane. A huge moment for both of these AR players. Time continues to tick. And Dashy is looking for the routes. He knows where Octane's got to be hiding roughly. Oh, he beams him off the bomb! Bruce with the absolute beams. A 1v1 that they needed to take. And it is Dashy again.
What a 1v1 clutch out of Dashy. Plays it super patient. Once it turns into a 1v1, he's able to trap Octane in towards the site. Hits a couple pre-fires through the door, gets that first blood. It already puts himself in the advantage in the gunfight. As Dashy clutches up the 1v1, all tied up at 3.
It's a massive spot there for Dashy. Most recently, he was on the Hex podcast. They were going back and forth, and Hex told him, man, he's like, you know what? Pressure's on you. Skunk called you up. In a situation like this, it's up to you to lead us, and right now he's doing so perfectly. They kick off this game 5, 7-3. As we jump into this round, it is trades to start things off. Aggression once more here on aBeZy. Is Drazah narrowly able to stay alive? Tosses out a nade. Nothing lands. Quick dolphin dive right into the fight, and again, it is Dashy who delivers.
Dashy finds that kill from top mid with a little bit of assistance coming in from Shotzzy. Shotzzy is the bomb carrier. He rotates his bomb all the way towards B. Kenny's in position to at least take him off. Shotzzy's not going to rush this one. Just going to get this bomb down, but Kenny's in a position to break their setup.
And Kenny, in a situation where you'd like him to be aware that bomb plant's going down, now he very well could catch OpTic Texas off guard, depending on where he comes from. A 2v3. Man disadvantage once more for Thieves. Can they deliver this time? Shotzzy in the garage. Ready to go, ready to fry, ready to gun. Does fall. However, Envoy's position is known. iLLeY and Dashy now left to clean him up. 15 seconds left. That's all they got to do is defend, and defend they will. 4-3.
First attacking round of the map 5. OpTic Texas are able to take it. It's been all defense up to this point. The rotation comes in from Shotzzy, sneaks right behind Kenny. You get the bomb down. Already in the man advantage. Once iLLeY finds the first, it was Envoy in a 1v3. Not an easy task to take care of. So OpTic Texas now take the lead in the game 5. And Dashy on a 5 spree. That cruise missile, if he can earn this last kill, is a game changer.
It absolutely will be. And if you're Thieves, I mean, you're coming into this round, you're in the comms saying, hey, obviously we need a round. What do we want to do on offense? But how do we get Dashy off of this spree? How do we make sure that he's not going to have a streak to work with throughout the remainder of this game? A lot of things on the mind of Thieves, but are they going to account for a Shotzzy flank?
Shotzzy, he's playing this beautifully. Drazah does find the first kill, but this is where Shotzzy can strike, as the death silence is going to be earned. Puts himself in a great position towards bottom pool. His teammates are covering that cross towards B as well. So this play's all going to fall into the hands of Shotzzy. Here we go.
Oh, he's got Denny! Envoy catches him regardless. That was going to be the play that broke open this round, but Huke trying to put the round and this game now on his back. Cuts the player off the bomb. And with that being the case, he needs to walk away with this fight, but it's Dashy. Again, left in a moment to clutch, a 1v2. And he could catch timing right here, Jay. He could catch timing.
And this is doable. This is doable if you are Dashy. You also earn that cruise missile, but the nade does not connect. You hit your first couple of bullets. He's thinking that the setup is exactly how they did it before. 2 players in towards the site. This time we switch it on up. LA Thieves respond with their attacking round of their own. Led by the first blood of Drazah. And at least if you are OpTic, especially Dashy, you find that 1 kill to at least earn that cruise.
When each team needs to win a round, they do. When each team on either side needs to clutch up, they do. Now to 4-4. You said it a moment ago. Feels like this one's got what it takes to see a round 11. And so far, it looks to be that way. Can somebody catch a bit of an edge? Can it be OpTic? Can it be Thieves? Who's going to see series point first? As utility tossed and the streak is out. Now's the time for Dashy to invest it. But Drazah comes away with the first blood.
Oh, that's unfortunate right there for your OpTic, because you clear out this B side. At least Dashy's able to find one. with that cruise onto Octane.
Oh!
The bomb is going to be able to get planted for free. iLLeY finds himself towards top radio, makes that kill, 3v2. Look at the route that Envoy's hitting though.
That bomb is down. And Huke, he's ready for somebody to just jump right through that door, but Dashy is making life easy for him. Envoy, a 1v3, 30 seconds to go, and best of luck. And despite what looked to be horrible timing for OpTic Texas, they drop the first blood, they call in the streak. Dashy threads the needle, and from there, OpTic fly. 1 round to go.
Just a beautiful play call right there from OpTic. You invest that cruise, you get all the information, even though they did get picked off first. They found the trade with the cruise, and then they allowed iLLeY to get pushed up towards radio. But she eventually finds the second. You get that bomb down at B. Very, very difficult retake to execute. Now OpTic find themselves at game point. Can they close it out right now?
Well, we've said it every time. One of these teams has needed to adapt, needed to clutch up. They have. Can Thieves do it and get us to a round 11? Stuns out early. Trying to catch out Shotzzy, and they will. Perfect utility toss there from Thieves. However, Dashy again able to reply.
Dashy's just taking over this game as Huke finds a second. 3v2. LA Thieves have to clutch on up.
Oh, and iLLeY finds one himself. It's all on to Octane. A 1v3, and he falls too. You couldn't write it better than this. Facing off against the LA Thieves. Their first matchup together. The new era of OpTic Texas battles in their first series on land. And they catch a huge dub in a Game 5, Round 10. And Jay, the guy that we've been talking about, the guy who has been all over social media for the OpTic Texas team, making his comeback to the lineup in Dashy, goes off to guarantee the win.
What a series for both teams, man. But OpTic, they get it done the way that they know how. And that's all in the Search and Destroys. Didn't even matter in that game number 5. They have yet to play LSELO S&D with either one of their rosters. They come out, they start off early on with a lot of pressure. Quick bomb plants didn't lead to any success. But once they started to slow the game down is when they allowed Dashy to start taking over. What's he put up, like 13 to 14 kills? He earns that cruise missile, which is a round changer. Gives you a free bomb plant over towards that B site. And eventually OpTic Texas are able to close it out in a Game 5 Search and Destroy. Ever since this team has been formed, they have undefeated in Game 5. That's now going to put them at 3-0 so far ever since Stage 2.
What's that in Search and Destroy? Like 7-1?
7-1 in Search and Destroy. It's always S&D wins your championships.
That's right.
But when you can sneak out a respawn here and there, the way that OpTic have been playing S&D, they're going to be a tough team to try to take down.
Yeah, they absolutely are. As we said, a huge series for OpTic Texas. How are they going to adapt? How are they going to play? Especially versus an LA Thieves team, man, that just doesn't seem to be affected by a crowd like this oftentimes.
Absolutely not. When you're playing against OpTic, you want to play at your best, but OpTic came to play today, and it was all on Dashy, man. The fact that he was a play that was dropped at the beginning of the stage, comes back, and then takes over in game number 5. Oh, man, that guy's a beast.
It's a wild story. It is a wild story indeed. Day 1 of the Boston Major has absolutely delivered in spades. But that's going to do it for myself and Jay. We now throw it over to the main stage. Blaze, take it away, buddy.
Thank you so much, Lando and Jay, for another Game 5. Boston, give it up for OpTic Texas as they come away with another big victory. Now, Bruce, where I want to take you back to is map 4. You guys are about, I think, 8 points away from losing. You get to that final hill, and you put up one of the best defenses that we've seen all season to get to that Game 5. Take me from that series from that point. What was going through your mind?
I mean, all the credit goes to my teammates. The composure, the resilience that we've shown is pretty typical from the boys. So I'm just really proud of the team.
Nice, nice. And then we go into that map 5. You had a fantastic game, okay? What was your game plan? Because you put up about 13 kills in that last map, bro.
Honestly, that was our first time playing as Hill as a team, so I was just like, I'm just going to play my game, and whatever happens, happens, and it turned out to be a good one, so we'll take it.
Man, well, your game is a key to success, okay? And, you know, throughout here in game, going from Major 1 all the way over here to Major 2. You was on the team for a bit, you was off the team, but now you're back. But how does it feel to still be on this stage, playing for OpTic and playing with this crowd?
Oh, I mean, like this, I can't thank the Green Wall enough. I mean, you guys are insane every event. I mean, this is something that, I don't know if I can live without, you know what I mean? Competing is something I just look forward to every day, so I'm just grateful for another opportunity.
Well, you're definitely a part of the community, part of Call of Duty history, as the crowd is cheering for you. Any last words you want to give to them in the organization?
We love you guys. We're going to try to get you guys a chip. Trust.
They going to try to get y'all a chip, all right? That's going to do it for me and Bruce. Chris, close us out.
Don't make Mama cry already, Dashy. Come on now. OpTic taking us all the way to that Game 5, and they pull it out once again. We've got Brycey, Alley Cat, and Mr. Joey D on the end of this desk. And Joe, I want to start with you. The only analyst here to call the exact score. You saw it coming. OpTic clutches up in another Game 5.
Yeah, I mean, their search and destroy looks incredible. I still think there's a lot of questions here. I do not like the Mercado pick. Listen, with this roster, I'm playing Fortress or I'm playing aBeZy. This is a fly around and kill shit team. Let's do it, right? I do not want to rotate. The HyDra was close, but I'll tell you what, man, the search and destroy, that was, I mean, just, again, incredible from them. Games 2, in control. Game 5 here, they made so many mid-round adjustments. iLLeY with this snipe, it just feels like they have such a read on the map. And I think that's with the addition. You know, you bring Dashy back, but even with Huke on the map, just feels like they have so much chemistry and trust within one another to make plays on the map.
And everyone kind of had their moment in this one. OpTic fans, just quick word of advice. Stop asking for your players to be dropped mid-series in the chat. Just wait for the final verdict, because everyone took their turn. And we mentioned it, the sniper rifle was going to be key to future S&Ds. Name was called that out last week. We saw iLLeY pulling out on a number of maps today, Brycey.
Yeah, we certainly did. It's something they really play around as well, and it does help them out. The thing about OpTic and S&D is they're always looking for trades that I almost feel like they shouldn't get away with sometimes. They find kills on the map to like, oh, they've got a player down, suddenly they found 2, and the game's completely changed on its head. This team works well in chaos.
iLLeY went to a Game 5.
Yeah.
LA Thieves came in with the A seed. Are you surprised at all, or is this the expectation for the Thieves every time we get to land?
No, not at all. The Thieves is a team that will historically, I think, be doing much better on land than they do in qualifiers. That's been the tale last year and this year, but I do have to tip my hat to OpTic here. I was really worried when they lost that control. I thought that's the game mode they really needed to win. They came out in that HyDra hardpoint, and even though they fell behind, they clutched up in the end. I think that's going to be really important for them moving forward.
What a finish to that Zarqwa HyDra map. 250-233 to even get the opportunity to clutch up in the Game 5, and they give the fans what they want once again on the big stage. But let's take a moment and revisit one of the key moments that helped them regain their momentum after dropping Game 1. They look to iLLeY, they look to the snipes, and the man connects. He gives you some big openings, covering his SMGs as well. Is he the guy you need to shut down if you go to Mercado again in the future?
I don't know if he's the guy you need to shut down. He's watching crosses. He's getting a lot of info. I think the guy to me to probably shut down is either Shotzzy and Huke, because one of the things in Search and Destroy they do so well, it's not only their trades, it's also how tough they are to kill, right? You see Shotzzy through the X-ray, right through Codcaster. He's jumping around, Dolphin diving. He is playing his life just buying time.
iLLeY hitting the key shots, Shotzzy, Huke making the openings for the squad. Let's take a look at where we were at the start of the day, though. As OpTic now gets some break, we get a chance to see some of our teams returning tomorrow, and unfortunately, it's a lot of the squads that lost, including LA Thieves. But going all the way to the top here, Minnesota pulling off the upset against the Subliners to open the day, aLLeY. This one is the game that ruined a lot of people's pick'em bracket.
Yeah, it didn't ruin mine. Unfortunately, games later on in the day ruined mine. But this one, I mean, it's an unfortunate situation. The New York Subliners, of course, we have touched on the fact, you know, them getting in a little bit later, maybe being a little bit tired, but you also have to tip your hat to the Minnesota Røkkr. They came out, and they came out with a fire. We saw some serious consistency out of Bance and Cammy. That first hard point was a little worrisome, 250 to 150. 453, and I touched on it. You know, it's a really small fix for the Røkkr. They need to play more together. They're a team that will do incredibly well when it comes to trading and chaos, and I think Bance just needs to get into the mix a little bit more when it comes to respawn.
2-3-5, the clutch up in both search and destroys and send the Subliners down to the lower bracket, where a little bit later they will be facing off against the Royal Ravens. For Boston Breach, they had to match up against Atlanta, who reverse swept them in the qualifier. It was Boston starting off hot, but Atlanta at the end walking away with the victory, a 2-4-5 victory here, Brycey.
Yeah, it was. It's kind of crazy for both of these two teams, realistically. Boston looked so good early on. You got to ask yourself, was that a buff from the home crowd?
100%.
But Atlanta FaZe, we know what to expect from them. The biggest question about them this year is, can they go one step further than last year? They haven't looked dominant. They haven't looked like the Tiny Terrors. I just want to see more from them.
I mean, listen, their search has been fantastic, but they're still, I mean, very slow at map number 1, and that map 3 up 2-0, and still some mistakes to work on.